All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are driving headfirst into like a tech world battle royale that has Silicon Valley buzzing. And it's not just some, like little disagreement between startups. We're talking about Elon Musk.
Oh, wow.
The Mars guy.
Yeah.
The guy who's always like on X, stirring things up.
Right. The tweeter.
The tweeter, exactly.
Yeah.
Versus Sam Altman, the brains behind OpenAI, the company that's like basically trying to write the future of AI.
Yeah, and they're clashing over this thing called Project Stargate.
Project Stargate.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is that?
This $500 billion AI project that's like, I don't know, maybe the most ambitious thing I've ever heard of.
500 billion.
500 billion with a B.
Oh, my goodness.
Think of it like, I don't know, the Manhattan Project, but for artificial intelligence. I'm talking OpenAI, obviously.
All right.
SoftBank.
Big names.
Oracle, MGX, even the U.S. government is involved in this thing.
So this is like a serious power move here. Oh, absolutely. This could completely change the AI game.
Okay, so what's the big goal? Like, what are they actually trying to do with Project Stargate?
So basically, they want to build like the ultimate AI infrastructure.
Oh, wow.
Like, think data centers on steroids, but like times 1,000.
Okay.
The processing power, the research that could come out of this thing, it's insane.
Okay.
This could put the U.S. at the front of the pack in the whole global AI race.
So like at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But there's a twist.
Okay, I was going to say there's got to be a twist here.
Oh, yeah, there's a big one.
Okay, lay it on me.
Musk and Altman, the two guys who started OpenAI together back
Right.
in 2015,
Yeah.
they've gone from like partners to, let's just say they're not sending each other Christmas cards anymore.
Okay, so hold on, back up for a second.
Yeah.
Didn't OpenAI begin as this like, really idealistic nonprofit, all about like, making sure AI is good for humanity, friendly AI?
Right, yeah, like benefit everyone.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, that's where things get spicy. Okay.
So in 2019, OpenAI made a big change. They went from nonprofit to for-profit.
Oh, wow.
And that's when like the Musk-Altman friendship started to crack.
Okay. So Musk wasn't really down with like the whole making money thing.
No, not really.
I mean, he's got plenty of money already,
Right. He's not really about that corporate greed kind of thing.
Right. Like he's more about, changing the world and
Exactly.
big ideas.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head.
Okay.
This move for Musk was like a betrayal, like they were abandoning their original purpose.
Right.
He saw it as putting profit ahead of, developing AI safely and responsibly.
Makes sense. He always seems to be thinking like, really long term.
Yeah, he sees the big picture.
Yeah, the big picture. So this isn't just about ego or money. It's about like a completely different way of thinking about AI.
Exactly. They have fundamentally different philosophies, and that's like the core of this whole Stargate fight.
Got it.
You've got Musk on one side. He's like all about open source, make the code available for anyone to use and change and share.
Right. He thinks that's the only way to prevent some big company or some government from like hoarding AI and using it for bad stuff.
Okay, so it's about democratizing AI.
Yeah, make it available for everybody.
But wouldn't that also make it easier for like, bad guys to get their hands on it too?
Yeah, that's the flip side.
The risk.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Okay.
You're opening it up for everyone, good and bad.
All right.
But that's the trade-off.
Okay, so we've got Musk in the open corner, and then the other corner we've got Altman, who's like team government, team big corporations. Is that right?
Yeah, he thinks the best way to push AI forward, especially for something as huge as Stargate, is to work with, powerful institutions.
Right.
He thinks the government and companies like SoftBank and Oracle, they have the resources and the scale to really make breakthroughs happen.
So two very different visions.
Yeah.
I can see why they're clashing.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Musk leaving OpenAI wasn't exactly a smooth exit.
Probably not, no.
Let's just say there were no hugs. He left the board in 2018, and since then it's been nonstop, lawsuits, public arguments. It's been messy.
Wow.
And Musk has been incredibly outspoken about his criticism of Stargate.
Yeah.
He's even called Altman a swindler and a liar.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he did not hold back.
And he didn't just like say that to his friends, right? This was like full-on social media smackdown.
He went on X.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he used to call Twitter.
Right.
And just unleashed like a torrent of memes just mocking the project and how it's funded.
Wow, okay.
He even said that SoftBank, one of the major investors, they actually have way less money than they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Which, if that's true,
yeah,
that puts the whole project in jeopardy.
Right. So he's not just like, name calling. He's saying there are real problems with this thing.
Exactly. He's raising some serious red flags about the financial stability of the whole thing.
So is this just like, Musk being Musk, like stirring up controversy, or does he have a point?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is he just being provocative, or does he have some inside information that we don't know about?
Right.
And if he's right, what happens to Stargate?
Yeah, what does that mean for the whole project?
Right. It could all fall apart.
Okay, so we've got Musk, the open source guy, like throwing bombs at Altman, the government-backed AI guy. Things are heating up. But how did Altman respond to all this?
Yeah, I mean, did he hit back?
Yeah. Did he fire back?
Well, it was interesting. He didn't, go on the attack. It was more like a mix of, trying to calm things down, but also standing his ground.
Right.
He defended Stargate. He said it was totally legit and that it had the potential to, make the U.S. the leader in AI.
Okay.
Like he was saying this project could lead to breakthroughs in everything, medicine, transportation, robotics.
Wow.
Even cybersecurity, you name it.
So he's saying this is going to benefit everyone, not just the tech industry.
Exactly. He was painting this picture of like a really positive future thanks to Stargate.
Right. A brighter future.
Yeah.
Powered by AI.
Mm-hmm. Did he address Musk's concerns about SoftBank directly though?
Yeah, did he refute that?
Not really. He didn't go point by point, but he did talk about how strong the financial backing was from other big players.
Okay.
Like Oracle and MGX. He made it seem like the project wasn't totally dependent on SoftBank.
Okay, so he kind of dodged the question, but also, made it seem like everything was fine.
Exactly. He was projecting this image of stability confidence, even though there was all this drama swirling around.
Yeah, it's smart. It's more tactic.
And then get this, he even invited Musk to visit the Stargate construction sites in Texas.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, come see for yourself.
Okay, was that a genuine offer to make peace, or was it a power move?
It's tough to say with these guys.
Yeah.
Some people saw it as trying to de-escalate the situation.
Right.
But others thought it was a subtle challenge, come see how much progress we're making without you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it adds another layer to this whole story.
Yeah, it does. It does. But here's the thing that I found really strange.
What's that?
Even while he was defending Stargate and, pushing back against Musk's claims, he still called Musk the most inspiring entrepreneur of our time.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird, right?
It's this weird mix of respect and, animosity.
Yeah.
They obviously have totally different ideas about AI.
Right.
But you can still tell there's this underlying admiration there.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit of sadness, for the days when they were on the same team.
Right, like a breakup where you still care about the person, but you can't even be in the same room with them.
Exactly.
But this is bigger than just two guys fighting, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's something much bigger going on here.
Absolutely. This fight between Musk and Altman, it's a stand-in for this much bigger question.
Which is?
Who controls the future of AI?
Right.
Is it going to be open and collaborative like Musk wants? Or is it going to be controlled by governments and corporations like Altman thinks?
And that's a huge question, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's massive.
Because we're talking about technology that could change everything. Healthcare, education, transportation, defense.
Absolutely everything.
Whoever controls AI controls the future.
That's right. And that's why this whole Stargate thing is so important. It's like a test case for these two different visions of AI.
Right.
If Stargate succeeds, it's a win for Altman's way of doing things, big corporations working together.
Right.
But if it fails, if Musk is right about the money problems or, the technical challenges, that's a huge blow for that model. And it strengthens the argument for, open source and decentralization.
Okay, so the stakes are super high.
Yeah.
And there's also the global competition angle, right?
Right. The U.S. and China, they're in this race to become the AI superpower.
Yeah.
And Stargate could tip the scales one way or the other.
It's like a chess game with world domination on the line.
Basically.
But there's one more player we haven't talked about yet.
Who's that?
And he's a total wild card.
You talking about Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, he throws a whole wrench into things.
He publicly endorsed Stargate.
Yeah.
And he even called out Musk's dislike of Altman.
Oh, wow.
It makes you wonder, how much of this was personal for Trump?
Yeah.
Was he genuinely trying to help the U.S. win the AI race? Yeah. Or was he playing politics?
Right. Was it strategy or was it just a personal vendetta?
Yeah, we don't know what was going on in his head.
It's impossible to say for sure.
Right, but it definitely adds another layer of complexity to this whole story.
Oh, absolutely. And it raises a question for us, the people watching all of this play out.
What's that?
Does Trump's endorsement give Stargate more credibility?
Right.
Or does it make it seem even more political and, maybe less legitimate?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a double-edged sword.
On the one hand, having a former president back you up is huge.
Right, it gives you clout.
But on the other hand, Trump is a polarizing figure.
Oh, yeah.
And his endorsement could alienate some people.
Definitely.
And that could create more problems for Stargate. So it's a gamble.
Yeah, and it shows how complicated this whole thing is, technology, politics, national interests. It's all tangled up.
Right. It's not just about the tech anymore.
It never is.
So we've talked about the personalities, the different visions, the political gamesmanship, but let's step back for a second.
Okay.
And think about the average person, like you and me.
Right. The everyday folks.
Yeah. What does this whole AI power struggle mean for our lives?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah, that's what really matters.
How is this going to affect the world we live in?
Exactly.
Well, the truth is, AI has the potential to change everything.
Yeah.
And if Stargate succeeds, it could lead to some incredible advances.
Like what?
Think about healthcare.
Okay.
We could have AI doctors that can diagnose diseases way more accurately.
Right.
And personalize treatments.
Wow. Okay.
Transportation. Yeah. We could have self-driving cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Way fewer accidents.
That would be amazing.
Communication. We could have instant language translation.
So no more language barriers.
Exactly. It could be like something out of a sci-fi movie.
But we've also talked about the risks, right?
Oh, yeah. We can't ignore those.
Like AI being used for surveillance, propaganda,
right.
Even autonomous weapons.
Scary stuff.
It's kind of a scary thought, right?
It is. We have to be realistic about the potential dangers.
Right. So we have this amazing potential for good, but also this scary potential for bad.
It's both.
So what do we do? How do we make sure that AI is used to help people, not hurt them?
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can't just sit back and watch this all happen. We have to be involved.
Right. We have to take control.
We all have a role to play.
Okay, so what can we do?
Well, first, we have to educate ourselves.
Okay.
We have to understand how AI works, what data it uses, how it's being used right now.
Right. We have to be informed.
Exactly. And we have to be careful about the data we share online.
Right.
Read the privacy policies, adjust our settings, maybe even switch to platforms that, care about our privacy.
Okay, so be more conscious of our digital footprint.
Yeah, and we have to talk about this stuff.
Oh,
with everyone, our friends, our families, our coworkers, our elected officials.
Right.
We have to have these conversations about the ethics of AI.
Right, like what are the rules?
Exactly, what are the limits?
Because the future of AI is not predetermined.
That's right.
It's something we're creating right now.
With every choice we make.
Yeah. And it's up to us to make sure it's a future that works for everyone.
A future we can all be proud of.
Okay, so we've talked about the clash of the titans, the philosophical debate, the political maneuvering.
Yeah.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle we haven't talked about yet.
What's that?
And it's arguably the most important piece.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's the data.
The fuel that powers the AI engine.
Exactly. We've talked about the algorithms, the infrastructure, the big ideas. But without data, AI is just a car with no gas.
It can't go anywhere.
Right.
It's useless.
And that brings us to a whole other level of complexity in this AI story.
Okay.
Because it's not just about who controls the technology.
It's also about who controls the data.
Exactly. Who has the keys to the kingdom?
So let's talk about that data. What kind of data are we talking about and where is it coming from?
It's a massive amount of information. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about here? Give me some examples.
Okay, so think about everything you do online. Every Google search, every Amazon purchase, every post you like on social media.
Right.
Every time you use your GPS, your phone is tracking where you are.
Okay.
All of that is data, and it's being collected, stored, and analyzed.
By who?
Well, by companies mostly.
Right.
Tech companies like, Google, Facebook, Amazon, they're the ones with the biggest data hoards.
Right, right. And what are they doing with all this data?
Well, they're using it to train AI systems.
Right, because the more data you have, the better your AI, right?
Exactly. The more data an AI system is trained on, the smarter it gets, the more accurate its predictions, the more sophisticated its abilities.
So basically, data is the key. It's the fuel that powers the AI engine.
And right now, a few big tech companies control most of that fuel.
Yeah, they've built their empires on collecting and analyzing our digital footprints.
And now they're using that data to build AI systems that are shaping our lives.
Exactly. They're influencing what we see online, what we buy, even how we think.
It's kind of unsettling when you think about it.
It is. There's a real lack of transparency and control when it comes to our data.
And this ties back to what we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah, the whole Musk versus Altman thing.
Right, because Musk is all about open source AI.
Exactly. He wants decentralized power. He doesn't want a few companies or governments controlling everything.
So open source AI could be a way to give individuals more control over their data.
That's the idea.
But even with open source AI, you still need massive amounts of data to train these systems, right?
That's true.
So where did that data come from, if not from the big tech companies?
Well, that's a challenge the open source community is working on.
Okay.
There are projects to create publicly available data sets, and there's research into developing AI systems that can learn from smaller data sets.
Interesting.
It's an ongoing process.
It's a lot to process. We've gone from this tech world feud to like a philosophical debate about the future of AI to now this whole issue of data control.
It's all connected.
So let's bring it back to the listener.
Yeah.
What does this all mean for someone who's not like a tech CEO or a data scientist?
It means that the future of AI is something we should all be paying attention to, because it's going to affect every aspect of our lives.
In what ways?
How we work, how we communicate, how we shop, how we entertain ourselves.
Right. So it's not just about robots and spaceships.
No, AI is already here. It's already changing the world.
So what can we do to make sure that AI is used for good and not for bad?
First, we have to educate ourselves.
Okay.
We need to understand how AI works, what data it uses, how it's being used right now.
Right. Be informed.
Exactly. And we need to be more mindful of the data we share online.
Right. Like, be careful what we post.
Yeah. And adjust our privacy settings. Maybe even consider using services that prioritize privacy.
Okay, so be more conscious of our digital footprint.
Yeah. And we need to talk about this stuff with everyone.
Okay.
Our friends, our families, our colleagues, our elected officials.
Right. Have those conversations.
Exactly, because the future of AI is not set in stone.
Right.
It's a path we're creating right now.
Together.
And it's up to us to make sure it leads to a better world for all.
A world where AI is used to solve problems and improve lives.
Not to create new problems.
Exactly. This has been quite a journey.
Yeah, we started with this battle of the tech titans, and we ended up talking about the future of humanity.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even the most advanced technologies, they're still tools.
Right. They can be used for good or for bad.
It all depends on us.
It's about human choices.
Yeah.
Human values.
And we have to make sure that those choices, those values, are guiding the development and use of AI.
Because the future is not something that just happens to us.
We create it.
We create it together.
That's it for our deep dive into the Musk versus Altman saga and the future of AI.
It's been a fascinating discussion.
We hope you learned something new.
And that you're inspired to learn more.
And to get involved.
Because the future of AI is in our hands.
Thanks for listening.